Shalom to the like, giving all praise and honor, glory to you. How about Shemel Shai, by Shemer Kakadashin, giving double honor to the elder apostles and elder bishops of Great Millstone, who well, peace and salutation to the elect. Shemel Mafis and Mappa from the Great Millstone Plaintables camp located here in the city of Philadelphia. Is coming with another week lesson. And this is covering this topic being more people buying groceries with buy now, pay later, late payments rising. And this is another sign of this kingdom itself and withering away, wasting away, the people and being diminished, and the economy waning, etc. It says, in yet another sign of cracking and creaking U.S. economy, and that's mainly because of the debt, the amount of money they got circulating, within the money supply, money that they created. It says Americans are increasingly tapping buy now, pay later, BNPL financing to pay for daily essentials, even groceries. According to a new survey released Friday by LendingTree, a lot of people are struggling and looking for ways to extend their budget. I mean, the times are hard when you see somebody that drive next to you in a brand new car, but the individual have a bunch of packages within it. Like, I was just driving here working. This woman, we were at the red light, and then my coworker actually said to him, "It's like, what's that? What you you like what, bake or something?" And she's like, "No, package. Oh, you deliver." And it's like the individuals are doing these jobs, which they can get paid now a lot of times, or they can get a job quick, and hoping obviously to be able to support their lifestyles and such, to pay these car payments, pay these rent and mortgages, and daily expenses, etc. But the rat race, it's really driving people mad, because you have it, people are looking for ways to extend their budget, okay, because most individuals have a particular amount of money to be spending a month, from how much money they bring in, in their net income. But that is diminishing and waning, as the inflation settles in, the prophecies continue to kick forward. You have it, more Americans are financing groceries with buy now, pay later loans, and more are paying those bills late. So not only that, they're financing groceries, which most people would think of financing different items like for the home, such as maybe a bed, furniture, telly, computers, things of that sort. Now people are actually literally going to the bare essentials grocery. Okay, so this is what's going on. All right. And it says that a growing number of Americans are now buying now, pay later loans to buy groceries, and more people are paying those bills late. So America is still issuing out that credit. The figures are the latest indicator that some customers are cracking under pressure of uncertain economy and are having trouble affording essentials such as groceries, as they contend with persistent inflation, high interest rates, and concerns around tariffs. So, it's everything that the prophets have been speaking. We get the word first before everybody. Okay, if you in the spirit of prophecy, you're ahead of the game. Okay, you're in the spirit of Yahweh Shai. So, we seeing the things play out. We'll come to quick conclusion because the Lord gave us the outcome. Okay, and the vision is becoming more clear, more plain, and clearly evident in these times. It's the book of Isaiah 42. And it says in verse 9, it says, "Behold, the former things are come to pass, and new things do I declare. Before they spring forth, I tell you of them." And the Lord, he does speak and commune with his prophets, okay, through the Ruach HaKodesh, of the Holy Spirit. And, we, of course, declare the testimony, okay, as prophets unto the nations, okay. This is Isaiah chapter 43 and 12. It says, "I have declared and have saved. I have showed when there was no strange God among you. Therefore ye are my witnesses, said the Lord Yahweh, that I am power." All right. And the Lord witnesses, of course, dealing with the nation of Israel, but of course dealing with the elect at this time. Okay, because a lot of our people can't see the things that has been declared. Okay, they choose to ignore the fact that this place is funneled down the drain. They might be some of them individuals that are actually, still believing in the fact that America can bounce back and that we can take back the, cities, and we can take cut down crime. All right. When the cities is going to madness. All right, so Nagud is the Hebrew word for to declare, and is it to make known, all right, and publish, all right, and have messenger, which the Lord has the prophets as the envoys, and his mouthpiece speaking, okay. And it's beautiful seeing the words of the Lord come to pass in these times. Okay, so many different prophecies are coming to pass, and it's just beautiful. All right, this is also Psalm chapter 93 and 5. It says, "Thy testimonies are very sure; holiness become thine house, O Yahweh, forever." Okay, it says thy testimonies, and the testimony is prophecy. Okay, so they are very sure. Okay, sure going into Aman, meaning yea. They are faithful, they are established, they're confirmed. All right, they're true. Okay, so you can trust and believe that the word is going to come to pass. All right, because the Lord spoke it. Okay, and he holds his word higher than himself. Habakkuk 2, it says again, "And the Lord answered me and said, Write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. For the vision is yet for a appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry." All right, and you see the inflation. We tell you about the downfall of the economy, the money losing its value. The scriptures talk about even the borrower being subject to the lender. Okay, and the lender obviously dealing with Esau Edom through his banking, central banking. All right, his fiat currency and his credit-based system. And this is Proverbs chapter 22:11. It says, "The rich ruleth over the poor, and the borrower is servant to the lender." Okay, and they want that money back. And if you don't pay that money back, hey, there is consequences. Especially with this social credit system, how everything's going to be integrated. You owing money, and that can outcast you from having access to a lot of just activities in general. Okay, and just you can look at China as a precursor, for what America will be. All right, so it's gonna be worse than that. So it says here, in a survey conducted April the 3rd through April the 3rd of 2,000 U.S. consumers ages 18 to 79, around half reported have used buy now. So over 50%, man, pay later services. Of those consumer, 25% respondents said they were using buy now, pay later loans to buy groceries, up to 14% in 2024 and 21% in 2023, the firm said. Meanwhile, 41% of respondents said they have made a late payment on a buy now, pay later loan uh, in the past year, up to 34% in the year prior, the survey found. All right. Now, just listen to what the chief financial analyst Matt Skaltz was going to say. He might be a Malachite. It said that of those respondents who said they paid buy now, pay later bill late, most said it was by no more than a week or so. Why? These people waiting, work overtime to come in, they might go work a gig job, and get some money in, and then, pay that bill. Some people are trying to supplement their income or what they are not getting from their main job, primary job, and then now using these gig economy jobs to help pay their bills and such. You have some people that do the gig economy full time, but you have a lot of people that just use it exactly just for, the extra that they're not getting. Okay, it's not to have extra disposable income. This is just to be able to have the bare essentials. Okay, so it says here a lot of people are struggling and looking for ways to extend their budget. Schultz said inflation is still a problem. Interest rates are still really high. There's a lot of uncertainty around tariffs and other economic issues, and it's all going to add up to a lot of people looking for ways to extend their budget however they can. It was crazy. I seen this man at a ShopRite. He was throwing away all of this produce and such, and I knew it was produce, and I'm like, wow, this guy's crazy. Wait till the days when you see people see that, and then they, like I said, they're gonna ransack these dumpsters. They're gonna ransack these different places, when they have that lack of bread too. Okay. But you're gonna see there's people that already dumpster dive for things and collect it and might resell it. But for an awful lot of people, that's going to mean leaning on buy now, pay later loans for better or worse, he said. He stopped short of calling the result in a recession indicator, but said conditions are expected to decline further before they get better. So things are going to get worse, okay? There's no coming back for Babylon. As we know, she's not healed. And these verses should be echoing in your head, because these are what's going on in prophecy. So, don't get annoyed. All right. This is Jeremiah 51:7. It says Babylon has been a golden cup in Yahweh's hand that's made all the earth drunken. Okay, and some of the different philosophies of the covetousness, the greed and such. You have it where people they don't have self-discipline when it comes to their finances and such, and so they'll grudge what somebody else have, and they'll take it where they'll be like, look, I'm gonna get what they have, and I don't care if I have to do this or do that, just to seem like as if everything's okay. A lot of people are living another philosophy. Part of the image is the lies, okay, of America and such. All right, of this place Babylon. All right, of Esau. It says the nations have drunken of her wine philosophies, therefore the nations are mad. Okay, they're acting madly. You see, really most individuals now, they're not going to the grocery store and buying full carts of food. They're getting a bag there, a bag there, okay, of food, and it's like a couple items, and they're paying high prices on it. Why is there places like Aldi that's in existence? Why is there places like Bargain Outlet in existence? You know, it says Babylon, which is America, is suddenly fallen, is destroyed. How for her? Take balm for her pain. If so, she may be healed. And there's no um, um, saving this place. Okay, it's built to fall. Okay, simple as that. We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her and let us go, everyone, into his own country, for her judgment is reaching unto heaven and lift up even to the skies. All right, and this place is not coming back. The national defects are too much. All right, so the people are gonna fall with it too. Okay, and they're gonna lose it. All right. And then you have it where people, when they pay late, you have it here. It says here, I'm gonna get into it. It says the loans which allow customers to split up purchase into smaller payments. Like, you have it that an individual could like, I mean, I should show y'all. I'm gonna show y'all something. You can go on a website, right? And these are high items, right? High payment items, right? You have these are handpans, okay? They look like chariots. They're a musical instrument. I believe you could click on one of these, and you can use this: buy with shop pay. Okay, you click that. More payment options. You can check it out. But you could check shop pay, and you have like certain financing options. Okay. You know, they'll break up a payment of this $1,278 into smaller payments. Okay, right? And that's just what it is. And hey, the credit-based system will pay for it first, but you'll get that item, but that money, that payback, most of these individuals, they're not paying it back, and if they are paying it back, as it's gonna go on too. You have it there that you could do these without having a credit card, as it says, are popular alternative to credit cards because they often don't charge interest, but consumers can see high fees if they pay late. All right, so then that's essentially the same damn thing. There's no interest, but then there's a fee, so they still get more money. It says, and they can run into problems if they stack up multiple loans. All right, in LendingTree's survey, 90% of buy now pay later users have multiple loans at once, with nearly a fourth saying they have held 3 or more at once. So if they got more than one, and then of course then there's high fees on them paying it back because they are late. Who's really winning and who's really losing? A lot of these individuals, okay, are losing. Okay, and the system continue to issue. I mean, it's just a complete total fiasco. It says it's just really important for people to be cautious when they use these things, because even though they can be really good interest-free tool to help you kind of make it from one paycheck to the next, which most individuals are. All right, most individuals are. You have $500 to $600 in savings, okay, for emergencies, okay, etc. It says there's also a lot of managing it. Said Skoltz. It says so people tread lightly. Okay, so he given the kind of like the sense and the warning, but are people still gonna do this? You had people that want to look 60% of general admission at Coachella, which Coachella is a big major music festival. Okay, with a lot of the today's and some of the bigger artists of today. Some of them are just new artists that they push to the forefront because they have made deals with Satan in the music industry, right? Behind the scenes, right? Attendees funded their concert tickets with buy now, pay later loans. So they could just go and get, you know, buy now later, pay a couple dollars, $60 on a $200 ticket, go to the concert, but then down the line, remember you got to pay that money back. And like I said, the wages, they're not coming in, so people just get themselves into debt, man. All right. Now it says it's sparking debate on the state of the economy and how customers are using debt to keep their lifestyle. Right. So this is exactly what I'm talking. A recent announcement from DoorDash that it will begin accepting buy now pay later finances from Klarna. That's it right there. That one company for food deliveries led to widespread mockery and jokes. Americans are struggling so much that they're now being forced to finance cheeseburgers and burritos. Basically comfort foods. On those apps. All right. Yeah, buy now, pay later. Okay, it's your sandwiches and your French fries and burger. Well, with all the fees, might cost them, $20 to $30, but you're gonna break up that, and then you're still not gonna have money to pay that back. That shows this place is through. Over the last few years, customers have held up relatively well, even though the face of persistent inflation and high interest rates, because the job market was strong. That's what they said, and wage growth had kept up with inflation, at least for some workers. But as you go into, this is not the case. People have lost jobs and continue to lose jobs with the, Donald Trump, with his Doge, Department of Government Efficiency, with Elon Musk, cutting a lot of these different government federal funded programs, and it's cutting a lot of people from jobs, access to different funds, etc. All right, and people are struggling. Earlier this year, however, large companies including Walmart, Delta Airlines began warning that the dynamic had begun to shift, and we were seeing cracks in the demand, which is leading to worse than expected sales forecasts. All right, so that's what we dealing with right now. Y'all should of course read your Revelation the 6th chapter. Going to it, with the inflation, the hyperinflation, dealing with the black horse. Okay, 6 and 5, Revelation. It says, and when he had opened the third seal, I heard the third beast say, "Come and see." And I beheld, and lo, a black horse, and he that sat on him had a pair of balances in his hand, and I heard a voice in the midst of the four beasts say, "A measure of wheat for a penny." Okay, and 3 measures of barley for a penny. Okay, and this goes into the inflation, hyperinflation. The day's wages for just a wee bit. Okay, of a measure of something. Your day's wages and such are going to continue to decrease. Okay, because the inflation. Okay, the lack of your buying power with your dollar due to the amount that's in circulation is going to affect that. All right, it says, "And see thou hurt not the oil in the wine." All right, so that's it through the spirit. All right, don't get so into the system. The system is failing and crashing. Shalom to the elect.